if you're not having a smooth relationship with the citizenry, because they're the people who will give you the intelligence you know or intelligence you need to ensure that you act proactively than when you come after to mend, to carry out postmortem. Now, to discuss this with me in studios is the Assistant Inspector General of Police, but also the Chief Political Commissar, Uganda Police, Mr. Kasinje Hassan. You're most welcome to our studios this morning.
Thank you so much, Robert. Good morning, viewers.
Founder, I want us to begin by looking at some of the areas where this public trust, in one way or the other, people has, in one way or the other, either been tainted or diminished. We're just from a year that had a lot of elections. You had presidential, parliamentary, local government, and everything. Now, many of the people at one time viewed police as an institution that may be, because of the various political activities that were happening, this time riots, this time arrests, and here, in one way or the other, some began to lose what they could have had for the force, saying sometimes it's not partisan, others may be feeling that police was not for them, it was so much against them, and in one way or the other, this had an impact on the relationship between police and the public. How are you building this trust that even when we have occurrences of such political activities, we will not have this?
Thank you so much, Robert. I want to agree with you that it is very, very important for police to work together with members of the public in order to perform its constitutional obligation. Actually, when you look at Article 212 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, 1995, as amended, D, it talks about police doing its work with other security organs and with the public, with civic leadership and with the population generally. I am paraphrasing. That's what it is. And world over, there is nowhere police can discharge its mandate without the people. Crime occurs in society. Crime is committed probably by even people who are known by members of the society. But the other important thing is that crime needs to be prevented. Actually, it's like 80% of the work of the police should be to detect and prevent crime. What is more important is the prevention aspect, because 99 point something percent of the people are law abiding. It's that small percentage that causes trouble, and now that means that the people are willing to be to help the police in order to fight crime. However, image of an institution like the Uganda Police Force is very important, and for us to build that image it is also a driver for the community policing, for community policing. Good public relations and good image is a driver for community policing. As you have said, there are many issues and things that have brought this image. Actually, it's like the rate levels have a little bit gone down, and all of us must accept that this has happened. One of the things is that is about the political temperature that you talked about. But before that, there are other things. Number one is that we need to appreciate that my colleagues need to appreciate that some of the things that we do bring that rating down. One of them is the respect to the rights of people, the human rights, the way we treat even those we suspect to have committed offenses is very important. The way we arrest, the way we detain, the way we interrogate, the way we do things out there when we're in the public, the people are seeing us. And especially at this time, we have the issue of social media. Everybody is a media practitioner. They are looking at us.
Everyone takes a video upload.
A video is uploaded. People see me in town, and today I was coming here, and there was a lot of jam between Kubiri and the Mulago roundabout. And I came out of the vehicle to request police officers that I'm rushing for a TV program. And you could have seen people in vehicles, you know, some of them lifting their phone. Probably, what is Kasinje now doing? What is going to happen? So everybody is suspicious or wants to see what is going on. And my colleagues need to understand this. We need to be disciplined. We need to have ethics. We need to have integrity in whatever we do. And this brings me to the issue of corruption. It could be 1,000. It could be 2,000. But you pick it from a Mwananchi, it dips the image of an institution. A Mwananchi goes to the police station and is delayed. You know, he's reporting an offense at the counter, and this person at the counter does not take it as important. It could have been his chicken, but this chicken is very, very important.
To that person.
To that person. So, the care that we give, call it customer care, that we give to the person who comes to the counter to report a case is important.
Afande, you talked about the issue of human rights.
Yes.
And of course, many times you've had these civil society organizations ranking police. And all the rankings puts police on the top of agenda of institutions that are violating human rights. And of course, this is evident that it has an impact on the image. How are you factoring in this issue? Because being a political commissar, I've seen you several occasions going to residents of these people, the families where they have had these victims, making good here and there. And sometimes I feel pity for you, because you see a full Inspector General of Police going to these homes, but then the man at a roadblock doesn't know what you're going through. For them, stop a motorcycle, you either, even if it's to fall in a ditch, beat up people, all this. So much as you're doing so much at the helm, the police leadership, it all becomes like a drop in an ocean, because the foot soldiers seem not to be appreciating or recognizing this.
Yeah, Robert, you're right. One of the things that we are doing, and we are doing them vigorously, and we are prioritizing these things that I'm talking about. One of them is to make sure that we recruit the right people, and we are charting out the recruitment measures and procedures so that we have the right people in the institution. We start early. We put the right things that must be done. You know, the police, we must have the right people within the police. There are people who are going to come and say that we want to fix the police, but the first entry of fixing the police is recruitment. What kind of people are we recruiting in the police? It's very easy to go to our society and be able to work with the civic leadership to understand the kind of people you want to bring in. That's number one. Number two is the training. There is recruitment training, but there is also further training programs, and some of them are professional training programs. We are fixing training. We have the right leadership in training in the police now. AIGP Godfrey Goroba is doing a fantastic job. But we must put resources, we must put the right people with the right attitude that to train people and bring them into the fold. And that is very, very important. The other one is going to be command, control. The leadership of the police at all levels must be right. Have the right people in the right offices, in the right units, because we need monitoring, we need supervision, we need guidance, we need commanders, we need people who are going, because you are talking about people who have commanders. The CPC is going to be in places where they have shot people. The problem is, why shoot people in the first place? The president talked about the right use of the gun. In fact, he was talking about misuse of the gun.
I illustrated pointing.
Yes, you point guns, you threaten people, you cock, you do all that kind of thing. It is something that commanders are also important in making sure that this does not happen. The other core that we need to do is to make sure that we handle issues of welfare of the police. In fact, it is something, yesterday we had our top leadership meeting, and the Inspector General of Police is so passionate about making sure that we handle issues of welfare of the police. Actually, yesterday we took like 3/4 of our meeting on this point. And today we are also going to discuss it in our budgeting and finance meeting, of which graciously he has allowed me to chair. You will know that I've been going throughout the whole country, yes, talking. Right. So I have taken stock of what is there, and today we are going to sit and see where we put our resources. We need to improve accommodation. We need to look at the placement of the officers, right placement of the officers. We need to look at the education of the officers' children. We need to look, it's important that, you know,
because previously almost every police barracks had a school, and the police officer was guaranteed of education of their children to a certain level.
Yes, the lighting, even power in Zambia is an issue. So we are going to talk, when we deal with these issues, you're dealing with the mind. Actually, when we talk about the image of the police, sometimes you are talking about mind change and mindset and mind change. And these are the things that we are going also to squarely look upon.
Let's look at very important issue that you mentioned. That is recruitment. Many a times, when I was growing up, and this is also general knowledge to many people, a stubborn character in the community. You'd find a person who steals chicken, maybe even sometime, to say the worst, person they suspect maybe is a thief, and others, rapist or something like that. Then they would say, send him to police or the army. That would shape him. And I'm also among the leadership, the local leadership. But when I look at, you know, when you let out people and you come out, police is going to recruit. The communities, the local authorities have to vet who are going. But over a time, one time I experienced this, that I said, this young man cannot go to the force. But of course you don't make the decision alone. Saying, go, so how are you going to ensure that the community you're relying on, the LCs, the DSOs, the PSOs, these that accredit people to come to you, give you the right people? Because over and over, now even at this grass level, root level, you have corruption. You have people getting rid of someone. And I now found, you know, this, so no, let him go to police. So we are sending a wrong character with good documentation for us to have this problem far away from us.
Yes, that is a very important area. I have fortunately been to so many countries. My previous posting of the Director of Interpol and International Relations has shifted me from one place to another. And I've come to realize that very many institutions of the police place a lot of emphasis on the recruitment, the kind of person they are recruiting. It's not just about LC just saying so and so should go to the police. We must have mechanisms under which the people are going, first of all, to generate interest to join the police. Some of these include, you know, the formal education that we get, how much amount of the curriculum, the models that are there, that do have people to grow up with that kind of realization that this is the area I want to go to. So I started forming my mind to join the police when I was at the university, when people used to come at Makerere University in public lectures and talk about the need to have the right police, the right institution. They were talking about, I did political science and economics. And then they would come and talk about, you know, the political history of Uganda and the role played by security organs. And then they would talk about the police. Now, my mind began to form and say, probably we need the right people in the police. Do I count myself? Can't I play a role? How about when we start at a very, very, very young age? So that when I was in P3, I used to read those books, Warusimbi, a traffic officer. And then you like, most police officers, you ask them, how did you join the police? Oh, I like Tokero. police band, you know, because they were smart and the way they dance and that kind of thing. I think it should be more than that. Okay, it should be that somebody sees the right to change society through protection of life and property, through, you know, crime prevention measures and that kind of thing. So that must be realized. Number two, we shall continue in our community policing programs to ensure that the LCs and the other people in society understand that they need the right people in the Uganda police force. This business of mwana wa Kasinje atulemye kuchalo. So the best way to do this is to send him to the police yenemanya. After 9 months, we may not be able to change completely somebody. It is very easy for me to come in 9 months and 1 year, and I pretend I want to. Sometimes I go there and I ask them, which department would you want to work in? This is after 9 months of training. Somebody is saying traffic, CID. Now you begin to understand why somebody joined the police. Okay?
It is a fertile ground.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So they want to go to the fertile ground?
It does not matter. I've never worked in traffic. I've never worked in CID. Yes, I've never worked in CID. I have been all my time in community policing. Most of my years, apart from when I was in Interpol. So that I've talked about mindset is very important. Whether I'm in FFU, whether I'm in Marines, whether I'm in Police Air Wing, whether I'm whichever, whether I'm anti-stock theft unit, Uganda needs to be peaceful. The people of Uganda needs to live in an environment that does not have crime. The police must realize that for us to be developed, for this country to go to the income status, people must find this country secure. People must come to invest in this country, and they need security first and foremost. And who are doing that? It is me.
Well, let me first remind our viewers that you can be part of the topic of discussion this morning by simply going on our various social media platforms. We have our WhatsApp number, which is on your screen. That is 0709 60 25 92. Send in a text message, send a WhatsApp message, and the Chief Political Commissar of Uganda Police will be able to respond to all as they come in. We are looking at building public trust, because we know police cannot work in isolation, but also we know that it is you that give them information to help detect and prevent crime. Most of the times you look at postmortem. It could be avoided if there is good relationship. Now, Afande, you've rightly talked about having the right people in police. But also there is a belief that sometimes police does not do what it takes in terms of apprehending, coming up with deterrent punishments, or even following up some of the complaints. I don't remember the year, but I think now it could have become a decade when you formed the Professional Standards Unit. And I remember by then, I think it was Mr. John Nunguse, very active.
Yes, he's a very active, he's a very good officer.
That unit under that commander, I must say, very active, very swift.
Yes.
Today, I hesitantly say, it is kind of defunct. Where a case report at a Professional Standards Unit could take ages, which wasn't by then. And people lose interest. When we go to these other civil courts, you know the challenges that are there. So if people know that some of these things can be carried out with impunity, one time we want to report cases. People wonder if it is a political, maybe uprising, so and so is to walk, then in a minute police officers are there. If it is mob justice, one call, they have arrived. So there was an incident, there was delay in response. Said, no, let's go to the Professional Standards Unit. From when we received the first call, the first person officer picked, said he's going to come, and we saw there was neglect of duty. But till now, so what are some of these mechanisms that you have in place that are deterrent, that apprehend and cause fear and promote professionalism at the same time?
Robert, that's a very good question, I must say. You're right, is that the Professional Standards Unit is very important in as far as improving of discipline, ridding the police of the bad weevils, kaukumi, and making sure that our discipline and everything that we do is in tandem with the constitutional duty that we have. Yes, John Dungse did a good job. We have a very good officer there. She's called the Assistant Commissioner of Police, Sarah Chibwika, Her discipline is very good. However, we did realize that we needed to support the PSU, the Professional Standards Unit. And one way of doing that was to make sure that every unit commander, remember I talked about it when we were opening this show, every unit commander must, he or she, know that it is also my professional standard duty to ensure that complaints brought to me as a commander are investigated, and those officers who are not doing the right thing, who have been accused, have been, sanctioned. That is number one. Number two, the Inspector General of Police has instituted, I think we have instituted 9 courts now, standby courts at police headquarters. These standby courts have taken most of the work that should have been done by the Professional Standards Unit. So even when you don't see them very much, you know that they are, we have put measures. At the unit, at the regional, we have these courts, police courts. But when it comes to police headquarters, we have established 9 standby courts. And these have helped to reduce these complaints that you were talking about. Probably where Professional Standards Unit is important is because it's the one that feeds, it's the one that first of all investigates and feeds into these courts. But sometimes something has happened today and the members of the public are in uproar, up in arms. So what we do, charge that officer, bring him to the police court, and let evidence be brought there. Then first of all, taking it to the Professional Standards Unit and that kind of thing. However, having said that, we need to reinvigorate the Professional Standards Unit. We need to take it to the regions. Some regions actually have regional Professional Standards Unit officers. These are lawyers, but we need to make it robust. We need to take it to the districts. We need to make sure that every complaint that is generated from the public is received and it is acted upon.
Fande, I want us also to look at another area where either it is people not understanding, the public not understanding how the law works, or it could be the officers that have abused this. This is the issue of police bond. Where many times a person will tell you that someone has, you take a suspect to police before you reach home, they're out. Then sometimes you're told that a person to get a bond, the person, the victim, maybe the suspect, must first agree. At times, much as it is given freely, it has also involved a lot of money, people paying to get this police bond. In one way or the other, these are things that are taint the image, the reputation of police. As you wait for some of the messages that are coming in, I'll be reading them. Please keep your messages coming in on our WhatsApp number as you look at how a police can build, that is, public trust. So please send in your messages and I'll be reading them sooner to the guest I have in studios, and he'll be able to respond to that.
That area of police bond, it's important because our ratings really go down because of that. The integrity surveys that we have had, and the last one was done by IGG, where we are placed 1, 2, 3. Most of the complaints come from that area of the police bond. I have told all my political commissars and all my community liaison officers, CROs, to make sure that they go out in the media, in the public, in meetings, and educate and sensitize and mobilize the people to about the police bond. Police bond is free. Police bond is supposed to be free. Let me use supposed, because some of our colleagues get money from those given police bond. One of the things that we are going to do to improve the image of the police, Robert, it's going to be the support from the public. Once the public is sensitized, once the public know what should be done, if they know the procedures, if they know the law, then we are going to reduce the problems. Number one, police bond is free, and members of the public, please do not pay any money, because it's a bribe if you pay money. Number two, report anybody, any police officer, to the unit commander. you report, even in the media, you can put it in the media that Kasinje, who is at Katwe police station, is asking money for a suspect to be released. Number 3, when you pay, you too are complicit to this. But I know that most people are coerced. They are coerced into paying this money. So everyone, local leaders, those who get information about what is happening, inform us so that we can be able to deal with this problem at police stations. It's pathetic that we continue having our officers asking money in order for somebody to be released. Why should somebody be released? Why should we even go to the issue of the police bond? We go to the issue of the police bond because we have not investigated first. A complaint is brought to the police station, and do you know, people even insist, and this is a big clarion call to our citizens. When you go to the police station and you report a case, do not insist that somebody must be arrested there and then. Because even when the police don't arrest, they go around and say,
nothing was done.
You are putting pressure on the police to go and arrest someone who is brought without investigation. And that will require that within 48 hours, you must have evidence that you take to the DPP. Sometimes it's not so easy to get certain evidence as quickly as possible. And then that's what takes us to the police bond. But if a case is reported, the OCCID is informed, the right people are put there to investigate that offense, okay, before someone is arrested. There are offenses, Robert, where you need to arrest someone. If they say so and so has bomb-making equipment, you don't wait. you go there. If they say so and so has killed, is suspected to have killed someone, you don't wait. But there are certain offenses which you need to take time. I've beaten someone. Let someone be taken to hospital, evidence taken, who was there, take investigation. Because this person, where is he going to he's not running away. 1 day or 2 days, you have evidence, get him and take him to court.
Well,
so that, for me, I think that is Robert.
The messages are flooding like rain, so like some of the streams somewhere. Let me just take a look at some of the messages that are coming in. Good morning, Afande. Thank you for the good work and clear explanation. Afande, police officers take over 10 years without any promotion. Where do they get motivation, and yet others are promoted when still on probation? That is one of the messages coming in. All police officers are the same. They put money in front of everything. There is no free police bond. That is Sembatia Isma in Bulisa district. According to Sembatia, there is no free police bond. Police should start by changing their mindset of I eat from my office. But the public is biased about police, and the police is taking advantage of the biasness to marginalize people. I'm not very happy with the traffic police officers. One of them made me pay 100,000 to him without giving me a receipt for carrying my 3 people in my car that had faulted COVID-19 guidelines. Is it, and I find this not fair, what's wrong with me carrying my family in my car? Another one, I'm Wolingo Charles from Sironko. I request that the officer in studio to bring the word of God to all Uganda policemen so that they can have fear in their hearts and do good work. Very interesting one there. Good morning. Thanks for the program. I would like to thank Mr. Hassan Kasinje for acting professional and always being committed to modernizing police. The improvement of police welfare is important, and consideration of their children's education so that they will be mentally free from stress of them not gaining education while serving our country. That is Owomukisha Chizito Katadaha. This one is watching on our various media platforms. I think now please stop the messages. I think I'm having so much. Thank you for the show. I want to thank Mr. Kasinje because he's one of the few officers who speak the truth where need be. But for sure, there is no way I can work with police There it's the same institution spearheading abuse of human rights, beating, shootings. There is no any service you can get from, my brother, I think, is so upset with some, but you can understand where they come from. Retired police officers get home with nothing and may resort to illegal activities for survival. For people to join the force, what extra bonus gain does a police officer enjoy apart from salary? I have been to many countries and police officers enjoy a lot of bonuses, and this keeps them ethically right. My name is Anita Bachu. I would like to know why sometimes police officers arrest people without investigation, then take to court innocently. I think we first go with these, otherwise, thank you so much. The messages are really so too many. I think that explains that out there are so many questions unanswered.
Thank you so much, Robert. I think a member of the public was right to get upset, and that's why we are here, Robert. And I can tell you that it's just not because of a show, that we are doing a lot in order to make sure that we change this image. I would request that you have trust in us, that we have the right people doing the right job in terms of leadership and command. And we are going to make sure that we change this. Yesterday, the Inspector General of Police was telling me on phone that we begin his up-country tours. So we are going to be going to every region, and then we talk to our officers. Personally, I have also been going to all the regions and the districts. For me, I go even up to the district in order to talk to them. And our ideological grounding and foundation is that it is the citizen of the Republic of Uganda that we serve. And because we have put the citizen in front of everything, we expect our officers to be focused and be able to serve the people. On promotions, we are ensuring that every year we do promotions. People think that in police you just promote everyone, or you promote whichever numbers. We have a budget that we receive, and the budget has wages and salaries. So all our promotions must be able to fit within the budget. You cannot promote someone you are not going to pay. But we had taken some time because of some reasons which this space cannot be enough. The only thing I can say is that we have promotions that are coming out very soon because they are already before the police authority. And you shouldn't worry about that. We are taking care of it. Officers need to work hard, need to be disciplined, and then they will be promoted. The other issue is about officers being biased. And it's one thing that we are dealing with our ideological campaigns that we have within the police, so that we remove personal attachment to offenses. If you are doing police work, you don't need to have personal attachment into it. That's why sometimes you can end up shooting somebody because you have put your personal feelings. The laws are clear. You don't need to have personal feelings. You are not the one who committed an offense. Your job is to make sure that somebody who committed an offense is taken to court. Now, do I need to threaten you? I don't need to threaten you because the evidence is there. Why should I be animated? I don't need. I can arrest you when I'm laughing and take you to court. So we are also going to sort out that. The word of God, yes, it is important. Personally, I'm a saved person, and there is an issue of retired officers going home without nothing. This is not true. Every person that is retiring from the police, his gratuity and his pension or her pension is computed and given to them. I am aware, because I've been moving around, there are some pensioners who are not getting their pension on time. These cases are person to individuals, so few cases which we bring, and then we make sure that they are handled. Sometimes there is a disparity between a bank account, not really serious issues that can be sorted out. And then Anita, I think you've talked about a matter that I had dealt with at length. We need to investigate. We need to do more investigations before arrest is done in order to mitigate problems like corruption, police bond, and others. And I hope members of the public, you do appreciate this. Otherwise, police officers at police posts are put on immense pressure. They are actually people who enjoy seeing the people they are choosing in cells. And they stop there. They even don't wish to continue with the offense. As long as Robert has been put in the cells, then he goes around and says, Yari panka. It's not you. It's not you. So in order to mitigate that, we actually need to have officers investigate, or if you have arrested somebody, ensure you have investigated as quickly as possible so that we mitigate the problems that we have with the population.
Well, in the interest of time, my apology, we couldn't read many of your messages, although some had similarities. Thank you so much, because really there are so many here, but I'll forward them to Afande, and maybe he'll find ways of getting back to you. Afande Kasinje, can I have your parting shot?
My parting shot is that I don't know, we need to work out a way between Uganda Police Force and the management of UBC so that we can have such a program, run. I don't know what it entails, but we can see it. I think we need it. We are talking about image of the police and revamping the image of the police. And one way to do this is to keep on engaging members of the public, especially through a mass and national TV like UBC. I want to thank you so much for the views. I want to thank you so much, Robert, for digging deep into this matter. And I can assure members of the public that we are going to make sure that we change and we have the image revamped for God and my country.
Well, I want to thank you so much, Afande Hassan Kasinje, who is Assistant Inspector General of Police, but also the Chief Political Commissar, for having phone time. We really appreciate the time you give us
so
this morning. I want to thank you so much, our viewers. The messages are really so many. I want to appreciate you for giving us the feedback. And one of the common messages is, thank Afande Hassan Kasinje for being a police officer who accepts a problem where it is and speaks the truth. I don't know why that many and every message that has been there.
Oh, thank you so much.
Accepting that here there is a problem and we must work upon it. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. I'll leave you with Ruben to take you through sports updates. Good morning.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
Enjoy convenience today with Airtel Money School Pay, FlexiPay or Bridge Schools. To pay school fees using FlexiPay, dial *185#. Select option 6 School Fees. Select option 3 FlexiPay. Enter the school code. Enter the student number. Enter the amount. Enter the PIN number to complete payment. Pay school fees conveniently using Airtel Money. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.